What is up guys, Rickhackers here, and this is the guide to the L85A2, a new assault rifle added in the China Rising DLC for Battlefield 4. So I've been pretty harsh to a lot of the China Rising guns, saying they simply aren't that good. And the L85 is no different. I absolutely do not like this gun, but at least I'm going to tell you why. But first, let's go over the stats. The damage of this gun is extremely standard. 25 maximum damage out to 8 meters, then sloping down to a minimum of 18 at 55 meters and beyond. Rounds per minute is on the higher side at 800. Bullet velocity is a pretty standard 640 meters per second. Magazine size is also a standard 31. Reload speed is pretty standard for the bullpup guns at 2.75 seconds for reloading while there's bullets left in the magazine, and 3.75 seconds for an empty reload. Now you also again get the advantage of this gun being a bullpup weapon, which means that its magazine is further back than the trigger, meaning that you can get a longer barrel into a shorter gun, increasing your close quarters potential, and DICE replicates this by giving you better hip fire. On average, you get 25% better hip fire while standing still, and anywhere from 6 to 9% better hip fire while moving. Now, the things I just mentioned, this gun sounds like a good gun. It sounds like a gun that could totally compete with things like the M416 and the ACE-23. The ACE-23 is clearly one of, if not the, best assault rifle in the game. A lot of people are using it, the pros absolutely love it, and the L85 having 800 rounds per minute, you know, it could totally fit in there and compete with the ACE-23 because of its bullpup design. As long as it doesn't have too much recoil, it could compete with the super overpowered guns because it would be actually better performing up close. Well, the as long as it doesn't have too high of recoil rule was broken and shattered at that point. The recoil of the L85 is 0.43 up, 0.25 left, and 0.25 right. Now for comparison, the upwards recoil of the FAMAS, or maybe I should say FAMAS, for people who like to add accents to make them feel smarter. I'm kidding, people who pronounce it FAMAS, it's appels and oranges, okay? Anyone pronounces stuff differently. Now, anyways, the FAMAS upwards recoil is 0.4. So you have a gun in this game with 1,000 rounds per minute with the same damage as the L85 and a bullpup. This gun is clearly meant for close quarters. It is one of the highest time to kills in the entire game, and the L85 recoils upwards more than it. That is fucking retarded. That makes no sense. Now, of course, the FAMAS recoils way more side to side, but still, you have a gun with 1,000 rounds per minute, clearly meant for close quarters, taking people down, and you have comparable recoil with it? It shouldn't even be in the same ballpark, but it is. The side to side recoil is nothing pretty either. Like, compared with the M416, basically, the M416 side-to-side recoil has 0.1 left and 0.3 right. So, just a tiny bit more rightwards recoil, and then less than half of the leftwards recoil. So, you just don't have a point to use the L85. It has ruined itself in the recoil department. Now, when I use this gun, if I'm going to make recommendations to you guys, I absolutely do put a muzzle brake on. That upwards recoil is bananas. 0.43 up is way too high. So I absolutely would recommend putting a muzzle brake on. You then got to put something else on. Probably a stubby grip would be a great attachment for it. And then it starts to get more controllable. But then you're missing out on a lot of really good aim down sights accuracy. And there's going to be those people that are like, every time I say a gun is bad, there's always those people who say, I do well with this gun. Now, don't get me wrong, I do well with this gun. I have done well with the L85. I have done very well, 5.0, 6.0 KDs. But every time I die, every time I try to shoot a guy at medium range and my gun sputters all over the place and I miss him, I think, shit, if only I was using the M416, for example, or the ACE-23. Those are utterly superior guns that would be able to take down guys at medium to long range. Now don't get me wrong, the L85 does have its place. It is a good close quarters gun. And you may be saying like, what if I'm playing Operation Locker? I'm going to run the L85. It doesn't have like as insane enough recoil as the FAMAS, so I can take down guys at medium range, but still be quite good up close. Fair enough. That is a good point. And just the guns that, you know, if you have a PC or a PS4, you may be a little bit confused why I'm shitting on the L85 so much. Because yes, that does make sense to have its place. Being a bullpup weapon, not being as insane as the FAMAS, but still a decent rate of fire and decent up close. But honestly, as an Xbox One player, I can tell you, the F2000 shits fucking bricks on this gun. The F2000 is so good, and I'm telling you, when the F2000 gets released for everything, I would not be surprised if it replaces the Ace-23 and becomes the most used gun in the game. It is bullpup, so you get the advantage for hipfire there. It is as accurate, must be as accurate as something like the Ace-23 or M416. The thing is always on target. It's no problem to hit anyone. So the L85, why I hate it so much is that there is no point for it to exist in this game because the F2000 is utterly superior to it in every possible way. So as soon as that gets released for everyone, as soon as everyone gets second assault, you guys will be able to see what I'm talking about. Even right now though, it just has too much recoil to compete with the guns that it should be competing with, aka the Ace-23 and the M416. Please DICE, lower the recoil a little bit for this gun, and then it will be extremely good. I'm not saying it's the worst gun in the game, but I'm saying it has simply too much recoil to be competitive with the other MLG guns in this game. Please DICE, little nerf will fix this gun. Little buff, I mean. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a good day.
Here's your med kit.